So, like, I know you told me when we first met. I remember you told me the first thing that you see me wearing my undergrad college, and you was like, your mom went there, right?
Right.
Like, was that a choice in your mind, or like, how do you feel about, you know, HBCUs? Like, do you feel like more D1 athletes should look into, going to HBCU or even just going on a visit?
Right. No, HBCUs should definitely be at least in the mind of various student athletes and just students in general, especially for African Americans, just because like they don't really get the recognition that all these big schools usually get. But what the one thing that I understand about this part, what stops a lot of younger people from going to HBCUs is definitely the resource availability. Like for me, like again, I say journalism was definitely a big thing for me going into college. A place like Sacred Heart University with its connections with ESPN and these various networks, and it being near New York City and all these like the Martiri building itself, like you're not gonna see that. It's sad to say, and they're definitely improving, but it's not really it's not really present in the HBCU realm right now. Not to
Yeah,
say it won't be, but just not right now. So with that being said, it's just tough, man. But I'm sure I'm sure you guys know with the Deion Sanders thing,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
that is definitely going to make a big move going forward for HBCUs. Even though he's at Colorado right now, the fact that he was able to bring HBCUs to the forefront of sports, but not even sports world, just in the world in general, to bring that type of attention, that was really big. So I hope to see that more people bring HBCUs to their choices of college in the future.
definitely, definitely, man. Because I graduated from a historically black college, and I know um, it was definitely different when I came in for open house, where I came on campus and it was like, wow, this campus is pretty nice. And then
Right.
coming into this building, it's just I'm in the tour. I'm looking at studios. I'm looking at control rooms. I'm looking at stuff that they've been doing. And it's like
Right.
this is more than what I had when I
Right.
was an undergrad. And it's like
Right.
it's just crazy because it's just like, but I know my HBCU now. They slowly building new, buildings. They trying to compete to like go up levels because they
Yeah.
realize now like everything's about to be a different ball game now.
Yeah.
Especially you want to compete with these athletes,
Mhm.
and like, how did you feel when like? And this is just off topic. Like, how do you feel like? Do you think Deion did Jackson State wrong to
I,
lead for Colorado, or do you feel like it was like he did what he did for Jackson State for the time, and then going to Colorado mean like he's just going for the money, or he's just going to be in the Power Five? Because there's not a lot of black coaches in the Power Five level.
for sure. No, I definitely think that he did no wrong. Like people, he actually got a lot of controversy for taking the Colorado job, and I actually think he did nothing wrong. Like he he said in numerous interviews, because I followed it a little bit, my journalist sense, and it was like he came there for a purpose, and he exceeded what he originally wanted to do. His goal was to bring attention to HBCUs. Not only did he bring attention, he brought nationwide attention. He brought, what did he do for Jackson State? He built new locker rooms for the football players. He create they I think in the documentary they said they talked about creating a new field because the original field was just all dirty and it was rusty, and that's not great for the players to run on. They can get injuries. He just created a whole new wave of what it means to be an HBCU student and an athlete, and it was happy for me to see because, like you said, like my mom went to an HBCU, and I remember when I was little, she used to bring me to the homecomings, and just like that whole, I'm sure you know, like that whole experience was just, it was just so, like it
It's
was just a different type of vibe,
it's such a different experience that I wish
like
anybody could
it
experience.
was it's just like a community sense. People playing music, people eating food, watching a football game. Like I just love the community vibe. And he brought Deion Sanders. He brought light to that, and he influenced many other NFL players to coach HBCUs.
Yeah, Eddie
That
George at Tennessee State.
exactly.
You
Ed
have
Reed. Ed Reed.
Ed Reed, well, formerly Ed Reed
Yeah.
was at Bethune Cookman, but then you have Hugh Jackson down at Grambling State.
Exactly. He's creating a whole new wave, and even though he went to Colorado, just people not are looking at HBCUs that they wouldn't have looked at before. So like he did his job, and you can't get mad at a man who's just trying to provide for his family. I mean, who wouldn't take $5 million a year? Like,
Yeah.
who wouldn't do that? Like, especially when you bring in your whole family. Like Deion Sanders is the type of person where he's bringing the whole family to the main front. His son is doing media work. One of his sons is the quarterback for the team. His other son's about to be a defensive back for the team. His daughter is going to be a basketball player for the women's basketball team. His sister works in the front office. Like he's bringing his whole family to the Colorado Mayhem, and he did the same thing with Jackson State.
Yep.
So I mean, you can't get mad at a man who's trying to provide for his family. So just with those two things, I mean, I thought he did an amazing job at Jackson State, and I think he's going to do a great job at Colorado.